Something strange is happening in baseball. The best pitchers, the most complete hitters, the most disciplined athletes, all seem to be coming from one place, Japan. It's no coincidence. This is a country that doesn't just play baseball, it studies it, worships it, and perfects it. A nation where 10-year-olds practice for hours in silence, where high schoolers bow to umpires before every game, where losing isn't failure, it's fuel. And while Major League Baseball has spent decades chasing power and analytics, Japan has quietly been building a baseball empire rooted in precision, culture, and control. Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki. They're not flukes. They're products of a national system that treats baseball like an art form.
Sasaki come in and get the big out, and so he got his high leverage guys.
This is the story of how Japan cracked the code on player development and why the rest of the world is suddenly trying to catch up. To understand Japan's baseball dominance, you have to go back to its beginning. Baseball arrived in Japan in the late 1800s, introduced by an American teacher named Horace Wilson. What happened next was uniquely Japanese. The game blended with samurai philosophy, discipline, repetition, respect. Practice wasn't something you did to prepare. It became a way of life. Players bowed before they swung. They cleaned the field after every game. They learned that baseball was a mirror of character, and character mattered more than talent. By the time professional leagues emerged in the 1930s, Japan had already developed its own baseball identities: precision over power, fundamentals over flash, humility over hype. Generations later, that identity still defines its players. Ask anyone who's played there. Japanese baseball isn't obsessed with individual greatness. It's obsessed with the process of greatness. Hundreds of swings before sunrise, thousands of grounders before lunch, and an unspoken rule: if you can do it perfectly in practice, you might deserve to try it in a game. But the true engine of Japan's baseball empire isn't its pro league, it's high school. Every summer, 49 champion schools gather for the Koshien, a 2-week tournament so intense it stops the country. Sold-out stadiums, national TV coverage, millions watching, teenagers playing with the emotion of a World Series. For most, it's the peak of their baseball lives. For the few who rise above it, it's the launchpad to stardom. Shohei Ohtani pitched there. Roki Sasaki was scouted there. Countless others built their reputation on that sacred dirt. But Koshien isn't just competition, it's culture. Players train year-round, often practicing 6 or 7 hours a day. They rake the infield by hand. They bow to the crowd, win or lose. It's baseball as discipline, and that discipline becomes muscle memory that lasts forever. While American kids often chase highlight reels and travel team exposure, Japanese players chase repetition. They're taught that mastery comes from monotony. Swing the bat the same way until it's perfect. Throw the same pitch until it feels like breathing. Perfection isn't a dream, it's an expectation. If you're feeling that level of dedication, go ahead and hit like, subscribe to Foul Ball, and turn on notifications, because this story is about to show you how that obsession is taking over Major League Baseball. In Japan, the path from youth baseball to the pros is brutally organized. There are no shortcuts. Kids join clubs where practice begins at dawn and ends after dark. Every drill has purpose. Every repetition has intent. Coaches track fundamentals like breathing patterns and posture angles. They believe failure starts in the body before it shows up in the box score, so they correct everything: mechanics, mindset, motion, until each player moves like clockwork. But there's another side: mental toughness. Japanese training emphasizes endurance of both mind and body. Players are taught gamen, the ability to persevere through hardship without complaint. Long practices, painful conditioning, relentless feedback. Not to punish, but to build emotional control. By the time these athletes reach professional age, they don't crack under pressure, because pressure was part of their education. This is why Japanese pitchers like Sasaki or Yamamoto rarely show emotion on the mound. Calm isn't a choice, it's conditioning, and the results are staggering. Japan has produced a wave of players redefining what's possible. Shohei Ohtani became the first true two-way superstar in a century. Roki Sasaki threw a perfect game with 19 strikeouts at age 20. Yoshinobu Yamamoto dominated the NPB with back-to-back MVPs before signing a record contract with the Dodgers. Even position players like Seiya Suzuki and Masataka Yoshida arrive in MLB with strike zone discipline most prospects spend years learning. They aren't raw talents. They're finished products, because the Japanese system doesn't rush players, it molds them. By the time they leave for America, they've already endured more structured training hours.
Got a chase, 99 that time. And clearly,
Then most MLB rookies will log in their first 3 seasons combined. The numbers prove it. Since 2010, over 30 Japanese players have made the leap to MLB, and nearly all arrived as elite in their domestic league. Japan doesn't export potential. It exports precision. Major League Baseball has noticed.
With the 1-2 pitch. And Shohei hammers it. Ohtani obliterated.
In recent years, teams like the Dodgers, Red Sox, and Yankees have quietly begun adopting elements of Japan's model. More early morning training blocks, more mental skills sessions, more focus on routine, rhythm, and respect. Front offices study Koshin tape, not for highlights, but for habits. How players prepare between pitches, how they handle errors, how they communicate without words. Because Japan has something MLB lost years ago, a balance between analytics and artistry. They use technology, yes, slow-motion cameras, biomechanical labs, Rapsodo monitors, but they use it to enhance tradition, not replace it. Where the West chased algorithms, Japan never abandoned instinct. That's why their pitchers still generate deception with subtle movement. Why their hitters still focus on contact over chaos. And why, for the first time ever, MLB teams are asking a humbling question. What can we learn from Japan? The answer might define the next decade of baseball. The world saw it in the 2023 World Baseball Classic, when Japan defeated the United States in the final. Ohtani on the mound, Trout in the box. One swing symbolizing an entire shift in power. That moment wasn't luck.
3-2. He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout, and Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
It was the culmination of generations of discipline, structure, and cultural devotion to the craft. And now that system is feeding directly into the major leagues. More Japanese players are signing younger. MLB scouts are living in Tokyo year-round. Even American prospects are visiting Japan for off-season training camps to learn the drills that forged Ohtani and Sasaki. Baseball's center of gravity is moving east. And if trends continue, the sport's future superstars may all speak the language of perfection. Japan didn't just build better players. It built a better philosophy. One rooted in respect, repetition, and relentless improvement. A system so effective that even Major League Baseball is starting to bow to its brilliance. From the sandlots of Chiba to the bright lights of Los Angeles, the secret is out. Baseball's next dynasty isn't being drafted. It's being developed. If you love stories like this, hit that like button, subscribe to Foul Ball, and drop Samurai Baseball in the comments, so we know you're part of the team. Because this isn't just Japan's rise, it's a warning to the rest of the world. Perfection isn't luck, it's a lifestyle.